Tesla Model Y Performance First Drive. Tesla's performance models traditionally push each series to its limits. Now the American automaker has also enriched the revised Model Y, also known as the Juniper, with the extra sharp version. One might wonder whether an electric SUV that sprints to 62 miles per hour in well under 4 seconds can still be considered suitable for everyday use. Tesla says yes. With the new Model Y Performance, the carmaker aims to offer a significantly improved car in terms of drivetrain, interior, and efficiency. The goal: more sportiness, more style, more everyday practicality, all without a guilty environmental conscience. The question is, can the facelifted performance still keep up with the competition? Tesla Model Y Performance. Visually, the Model Y remains true to its understated, smooth shape. Tesla added some sporty ingredients to the performance model, including a revised front and rear fascia, a specific rear diffuser, high-gloss black accents, and a carbon fiber spoiler. The latter not only adds visual sharpness, but also, according to the manufacturer, provides increased stability at high speeds and a 10% reduction in air resistance. Inside there's plenty of room. Up front, you sit high, typical of an SUV, with excellent visibility. The performance seats are significantly wider than those in the Model 3 and don't press against the thighs. Lateral support is present, but could be more pronounced for a performance model. Seat heating, seat ventilation, and electrically adjustable lumbar support with extensive settings ensure high comfort on long-distance drives. The rear bench offers enough room for 2 tall adults, thanks to the pleasantly low vehicle floor and large glass roof, which adds to the airy feel. The trunk is huge, including a deep underfloor compartment. The trunk cover, however, is less convincing. It is designed as a folding parcel shelf and works well in theory, but in practice, it's awkward, rattles, and is difficult to operate with one hand. Additionally, when opening the tailgate, you notice that it swings out extremely far, including the spoiler. This is great for tall people, but in low garages or parking structures, it can quickly become an issue. Regarding noise and comfort, the Model Y Performance is a mixed bag. On the one hand, the good insulation is convincing, despite the glass roof. On the other hand, there are noticeable rattling noises from the rear of the vehicle that could not be pinpointed. What's more, during heavier braking, there was a loud bang in the suspension area, which could also be reproduced with strong acceleration. This is something we previously encountered while reviewing the standard Model Y, and the cause remains unclear. When asked about it, Tesla examined the current test vehicle and reported that they could neither reproduce the noise nor determine its cause. Tesla Model Y Performance. At the heart of the revision is the new performance drivetrain unit, known as 4DU, which is also used in the Model 3 Performance. It delivers 16% more peak torque, 32% more peak power, and 22% more continuous power than the previous model. Insane is the name of the fastest driving mode, and it is certainly no exaggeration. The dual-motor all-wheel drive catapults the Model Y Performance forward with brutal force. 2 electric motors, one at the front and one at the rear, ensure all-wheel drive, distributing power fully variably. Tesla states 3.5 seconds for the sprint to 62 miles per hour, 100 kilometers per hour. In reality, it feels like it takes just 2 seconds. In everyday use, this is not only evident during a standstill sprint. Particularly impressive is the acceleration at medium speeds. When you step on the pedal at roughly 20 miles per hour, you get a jolt as if a truck had crashed into the rear of the car. The acceleration barely lets up afterward. Sports drivers cheer, sensitive stomachs not so much. The traction control works almost unnoticed. Even with full acceleration, the power is so finely dosed that as a driver, you hardly notice the control work. Only when the wheels are turned do you notice that power is significantly reduced. The drivetrain sound is also well done, synthetic but not artificial, with a slight warp effect that suits the overall character well. The battery still relies on a lithium-ion pack with a capacity of around 82 kilowatt-hours gross. It allows for a range of up to 306 miles on the EPA cycle and 328 miles on the WLTP cycle. The charging power maxes out at 250 kilowatts, which ensures quick charging stops in practice. During our testing, the state of charge went from 11 to 80% in 20 minutes at a Tesla supercharger. In our test, the supercharger also shone with its extremely simple user experience. Plug in and you're done. The car connects automatically, and everything else runs in the background. When charging from an AC source, up to 11 kilowatts is possible, which is perfectly sufficient for overnight charging at home. Additionally, this Tesla is finally capable of vehicle-to-load V2L, sometimes called bidirectional charging. Using an adapter that's sold separately, owners can export energy from the car's high-voltage battery to power tools or appliances. Despite being at the forefront of the electric car industry, Tesla has been extremely slow in implementing the feature. At least officially, only the Cybertruck has done this before. Still, it is a welcome addition here. Tesla Model Y Performance. The suspension has been comprehensively revised for the performance model. New springs, stabilizers, and bushings, along with adaptively controlled damping, are intended to provide more control and improved comfort, according to Tesla. In practice, the Model Y performance is decidedly firm. It shows no mercy on short bumps, speed bumps, or cobblestones. Despite the adaptive suspension, this has little to do with comfort, but it contributes to sharper driving dynamics. In fast corners, the vehicle remains very stable and, despite the high seating position, feels surprisingly agile. However, one point of criticism remains the steering. While it is pleasantly firm and very direct in sport mode, it noticeably lacks feedback. Especially during fast cornering, the vehicle can be placed precisely, but the steering feel remains synthetic. Those seeking precision and feedback will not be completely satisfied. Here, the Model Y performance can be maneuvered playfully with one hand and drives very nimbly, also due to its excellent brake recuperation. It's simply fun to surf through traffic so easily and casually. The tires, newly developed and differently sized for the front and rear, are tuned for efficiency and handling. They offer decent grip, but start to slide early during ambitious driving. For a performance model, one might have hoped for more grip. However, the brakes perfectly match their performance, though they require a very high effort for strong braking. The assistance systems also fall short of their potential. Autopilot, Tesla's camera-based system for assisted driving, shows significant weaknesses on European highways. It steers abruptly in curves, behaves nervously, insecurely, and sometimes unpredictably. The adaptive cruise control also does not seem very confident. Traffic sign recognition works but consistently ignores all additional signs, such as time restrictions or limitations. The control concept follows the well-known Tesla principle. Almost everything runs through the new, improved central touchscreen. It is responsive, intuitive, and now significantly clearer than in previous versions. The font size can be adjusted, a helpful detail, as many displays are rather small by default. Operating the one-screen system remains a bit of an acquired taste, however. The menu structure is sometimes cumbersome, and some functions, like the glove box, are only accessible via the touchscreen. There is only one physical button, for the hazard warning lights, which is somewhat hidden in the headliner. However, it's pleasing that the traditional turn signal stalk is back. After the unpopular switch to steering wheel buttons in the Model 3, common sense has prevailed again in the Model Y. What is still missing is support for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Tesla relies on its own infotainment system, which now offers many apps but cannot compete with Google or Apple, especially in navigation. Traffic information and route guidance are often imprecise or outdated, at least here in Germany. On a positive note, with a single button press on the steering wheel, all cameras can be displayed on the large screen, which is very helpful when maneuvering in narrow alleys. Also, the operation of the windshield wipers via the steering wheel buttons works well and quickly. Disabling the speed warning via an icon on the touchscreen is equally simple. Tesla wouldn't be Tesla without a few fun gimmicks. For example, the lock confirmation sound can be chosen at will. Our test car had a duck quack set, which brought a smile to my face every time. If you want to annoy your kids, you can trigger deceptively realistic fart noises for each seat. Additionally, you can navigate on Mars, as a tribute to SpaceX. Sometimes, though, you just wish the developers had put as much love into the assistance systems as they did into the gimmicks. Tesla Model Y Performance. The Model Y Performance is priced at the higher end of the range. Seat ventilation and heating, panoramic glass roof, large touchscreen, electric adjustment of the second row, over-the-air updates, and much more are standard. The top model costs €61,990 in Europe, which is exactly €22,000 more than the base model. Our fully equipped test vehicle, including special paint and a large assistance package, comes to €73,070, or roughly $84,000. A lot of money, but also a lot of car for the money. It seems to be a better deal in the United States, at least. There, the new Model Y Performance starts at $57,490, before any options, which are few anyway. The new Tesla Model Y Performance offers an impressive overall package. It combines immense driving performance with high everyday practicality, generous space, and a fully grown drivetrain. The adaptive suspension brings a real gain in dynamics, even if comfort takes a dive. The operation is typical of Tesla. You either adapt to it or not. And the infotainment remains deliberately closed to CarPlay Android Auto users, which may be a deal-breaker for many. Those who embrace the concept, though, get one of the still best electric vehicles on the market. That said, competitors like the Kia EV6 GT or Hyundai Ioniq 5N have caught up significantly. The Model Y Performance also doesn't excel in the way the interior materials feel, how comfortable it is, or how well the advanced driver assistance systems work. At the end of the day, it all comes down to the driving experience, and this one is still up there with the best. Source: reposted and summarized from Christopher Otto at insideevs.